Welcome back to Soul Talk 153 Sunday Meditation. I'm reading from Jonah chapter 1 verses 1 to 6. The word of the Lord came to Jonah son of Amittai. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me. King James Version says, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me. But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship bound for that port. After paying the fare, he went aboard and sailed for Tarshish to flee from the Lord. Then the Lord sent a great wind on the sea, and such a violent storm arose that the ship threatened to break up. All the sailors were afraid, and each cried out to his own God, and threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. But Jonah had gone below deck, where he lay down and fell into a deep sleep. The captain went to him and said, How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us, that we will not perish. God told Jonah to go to the city of Nineveh. It was not a city in Israel. It was the capital of Assyrian Empire, a big and a major city. The people of Nineveh were not God's people. They were Gentiles, and they were the main enemy of Israel. This was something unexpected, and Jonah was not prepared for this mission. He hated the people of Nineveh, and the people of Nineveh hated Israel. How can he go to such a city? He will be the laughingstock and even get killed because these people were ruthless. That's how Jonah reasoned. Jonah ran away from the Lord without any hesitation. If at all there is God's judgment, these people of Nineveh should come under God's wrath and condemnation, and that's fair enough. Jonah fled to Tarshish. God commanded Jonah to go to Nineveh, which is on the east side, and the distance is about 500 to 700 miles away. But Jonah went to the opposite direction, heading for Tarshish in the west, which is 2,000 miles away. He wanted to go very far, thinking that God will not find him anymore. But the Lord sent a great wind on the sea, and such a violent storm arose that the ship threatened to break up. All the sailors were afraid, and each cried out to his own God. That's everyone's nature. When we face problem, we cried out to God. But Jonah fell into a deep sleep. Imagine storm raging outside. Everyone was in panic and praying, and Jonah was sleeping. The captain of the ship was surprised to find out that Jonah was sleeping peacefully. And he asked him, How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Let's compare Jonah's sleep with today's Christians. This I borrowed from Enduring Bible Word Commentary. The nature of Jonah's sleep is too much like the sleep of the careless Christians. Jonah slept in a place where he hoped no one would see him or disturb him. Perhaps not even God. That's what he thought. Sleeping Christians like to hide out among the church. Jonah slept in a place where he could not help with the work that needed to be done. Sleeping Christians stay away from the work of the Lord. Jonah slept while there was prayer meeting going on in the ship. Sleeping Christians don't like prayer meetings. Jonah slept and had no idea of the problem around him. Sleeping Christians don't know what is really going on. Jonah slept when he was in great danger. Sleeping Christians are in danger but don't know it. Jonah slept while the unbelievers needed him. Sleeping Christians sleep while the world needs their message and testimony. Let's ask ourselves, are we sleeping Christians? When there are great waves of corruptions and storms of hatred and disunity around us, and if we are in deep sleep, we are just like Jonah. The real problem is when we run away from God and went into a deep sleep like Jonah. Jonah was a sleeping prophet who needed awakening all the time. Jonah chapter 1 verse 2 says, "Arise, go to Nineveh." The captain of the ship awoke him and said, "How can you sleep?" And in chapter 3 verse 2, the Lord said to him again, "Arise, go unto Nineveh." I don't think sleeping is sin, but it surely is a problem to all of us. On the eve of Christ's crucifixion in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus was in agony, praying with a sweat of blood, and his disciples were in deep sleep nearby. Jesus said to them, "Watch and pray, so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." Dear believers, the biggest temptation sometimes may be sleeping. Today is Sunday. As we go to church, let's make sure we don't fall into the temptation of sleeping during worship hour. I tell you, this small effort will bring big change in our life. Have a blessed Sunday. May God's grace be with every one of you. Thank you.